The morning after the wedding came quietly. The laughter, the dancing, and the music were gone, replaced by silence and the soft rustle of the trees around the Corleone estate. Inside, the house smelled faintly of cigars and wine. The servants cleaned the garden. Empty bottles and chairs stood like ghosts of the celebration. And behind the closed doors of his study, Don Vito Corleone returned to business. He was a man of habit. The wedding had been joy, but business, that was survival. As the Don sat at his desk, Tom Hagen entered the room, calm and respectful. He carried papers, letters, and lists of names, notes from those who had approached the Don the day before, asking for favors. Every name had meaning, every favor meant a debt, and debts were the foundation of power. The Don reviewed each one carefully, his fingers resting on the edges of the papers as if weighing the loyalty behind every request. He said little. His eyes were slow, thoughtful. For Don Vito, words were weapons, used only when necessary. Tom Hagen watched him quietly. To outsiders, Tom was not Italian. He was German-Irish, taken in by the Corleone family as a boy. But inside these walls, he was family. Years ago, Sonny Corleone had found him living on the streets, half-starved, bruised, abandoned by his own parents. The Corleones took him in, gave him food, a bed, and something more important, purpose. Tom had grown up beside the Don's sons, learning their ways, watching how respect and fear built an empire. He studied law, graduated with honors, and by the time he was 30, he had become the family's consigliere, the counselor and strategist to Don Vito himself. It was a rare position. No man outside Sicilian blood had ever held it before. But the Don trusted him completely, not because of birth, but because of loyalty. As they worked that morning, the room was silent except for the shuffle of papers and the low hum of the ceiling fan. Tom spoke about routine business, protection agreements, gambling profits, and political favors due for renewal. But then, his tone shifted. He mentioned a name that had been circulating among the other families, Virgil Sollozzo, a man with a reputation for efficiency and ambition. He was offering a new kind of business, one that could bring wealth beyond imagination, but also danger beyond control. The Don listened without interrupting. Sollozzo had been a soldier in one of the old organizations, now branching out with the backing of new investors. He was clever, well-connected, and ruthless. And his business involved something Don Corleone had always refused to touch: narcotics. For Don Vito, this was not just about profit. It was about principle. He believed in power that could last for generations, not one that burned quickly and destroyed everything in its path. Tom waited for a reaction, but the Don simply leaned back, eyes half closed, considering the names, the risks, and the silence that followed. He finally spoke in a low, steady voice, reminding Tom that their strength came from honor, politics, and respect. He said that drugs would make enemies in high places, enemies who could not be controlled. But deep down, even the Don could sense the winds changing. The world outside was shifting. New money, new players, new rules. Tom left the study, leaving the Don alone in the dim light. Vito Corleone sat there for a long time, staring at the closed door. He was old enough to remember a world ruled by loyalty and tradition. Now he was beginning to see a world ruled by greed. In that quiet morning, as the sun rose over Long Island, the seeds of conflict had already been planted. Sollozzo would soon come to him with an offer, one that would test everything the Corleones stood for. And when that offer came, it would begin a chain of events that no one, not even Don Vito, could stop.